39 years old, and I am pretty much at rock bottom, especially compared to like all my friends who are doing pretty well. We were bleeding money. We were going into the red every single month. I was pulling out of my 401ks, and I quit my sales job. I couldn't afford any of them, by the way, but I paid them anyway. I would go into the red. We hadn't taken a vacation for 7 years. My youngest son never went on a vacation. And this year I'm getting to take the kids to Disney World. There are going to be people that you love who doubt you. This includes my parents. Yo, what is up? This is the first solo episode of Free Business School, and it's a very significant day for me. It's August 25th, 2025. And the reason it's a significant day for me because it is my 3-year anniversary since I moved from New York to Charleston. And it's also my 3-year anniversary since I decided to go all in on myself, quit my 9-to-5 job, and start my own business and be self-employed for the first time. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is what prompted me to obviously go ahead and make these massive changes. Give you some reflections on my first 3 years in business and really 4 rules that I live by that have helped me get through my first 3 years in entrepreneurship and get through all of the ups and downs that come with that. And that's what I'm here to share. And it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've done a solo podcast. So I'm probably a little rusty and I'm kind of a little nervous. I don't know why, but we're gonna bang through it. We're gonna try to do this unedited and just me give it to you straight here. As far as like why you should give a shit, right? You're probably like, why do I want to hear about this guy's 3 years in entrepreneurship? This is for people that don't know me as well as maybe some of the other people in my audience. I have had a pretty successful first 3 years. I've built my business, as far as revenue, I've had over $700,000 in revenue come in and, or right around, give or take, I'm right around that $700,000 mark at the 3 years. And that's all solo, not one employee. It's all me. And I've done it basically exclusively from building a personal brand and putting out content online and mainly LinkedIn, but also YouTube and other platforms, right? So, like I said, enjoy, come with me on a little bit of my journey, and hopefully you get a couple of really good takeaways, for as you are building and growing your business here. So, 3 years ago, 39 years old, and I am pretty much at rock bottom, especially compared to like all my friends who are, doing pretty well and they've got their lives together and not me. I had this house. I bought a house in Long Island, and at the time that I bought the house, not like right after it, my company got acquired and did not really go so well for me at the new company. And I found myself looking for a job and starting a brand new job at the worst possible time ever. It was March of 2020, right in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm in a brand new industry in an individual contributor sales role with an okay salary and like some very small commissions that are guaranteed despite performance, that you kind of get when you start a new sales job. And it was tough. So this is when I decided that I wanted to start a little side hustle and basically bring in some income on the side of my sales jobs, and then just kind of see where it goes. What else was going on at the time? Let's see. I wasn't in good shape. The financial stress was probably the major piece of it. Like I said, I got this house in Long Island. I got a mortgage. I got 2 kids. I got a wife who is a stay-at-home mom who's dedicated to homeschooling and taking care of the kids. So it's my responsibility to provide for them. And because of this mortgage and because of this new job change and everything that was going on, we were bleeding money. We were going into the red every single month. I was pulling out of my 401ks and everything to be able to fit the bills. And it was like a really stressful time for me. And because it was so stressful financially, that led to the decline of everything else in my life at the time. Right. So, um, health was definitely something that got neglected. I was, over 100 pounds overweight. I didn't move very much. I basically sat in my office pretty much all day, which obviously is not a healthy thing to do. And I wasn't working out. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't eating well. I ate like shit, actually. A lot of pizza and sandwiches and fast food and all that shit, right? So not in good condition. And then obviously because of the stress, you're not the best person that you need to be for your family, right? And you guys see me on the podcast or in my content on LinkedIn or in any of my workshops, and I'm this very like chill, cool, laid back person. But when you're really stressed, you get triggered much more easily. And I would lose my temper on my wife and, on my kids who obviously didn't deserve that. So I knew that we needed to make some massive changes. So we started the process of, selling our house, and thankfully we were able to make some money on the house, and I was able to loan myself a little money from the sale of the house so that I could quit my job. So like I said, on August 25th, 2025, which is the day that I am filming this right now, my family and I got on a plane, moved to Charleston, and I quit my sales job. So I took 2 massive risks. And obviously, it started off very slow and rocky. And then, we've had some obviously ebbs and flows, but over the last couple years, again, made over $700,000. And, I'm well on the pace to building a business and a lifestyle that is comfortable for me and for my family. I mean, we hadn't taken a vacation for 7 years. My youngest son never went on a vacation. Well, last year, we made some extra money and we splurged a little bit, but we were able to go to the Bahamas, and we stayed in the Baha Mar Resort, and we enjoyed ourselves. We ate good. We played hard. We had some drinks, and we played with the kids, and we had a lot of fun. And this year I'm getting to take the kids to Disney World. So, things are progressing. We are still renting a home. So like over the next couple of years, we're looking to save and hopefully, get a home of our own at some point. But again, it's really tough when you are, a single income household. And again, my wife is doing homeschool for our kids, and that's really important to us. So, my goal and my mission is to be a good provider for them. So, as far as like, again, some of these lessons that I've learned along the way, the first one that I learned is that you cannot be successful alone. Yes, I am a solopreneur. I have 0 employees, but I needed communities and mentors. I needed people to show me the way, people that have been there before. And I have had the pleasure of working with two really, I'm sorry, three really amazing mentors to me. Travis Brown, who kind of got me started. He was the first person, and he was mentoring me before I ever even left Charleston, before I even quit the job. He was the person that made me realize that this was all possible. He was the one that told me to start the coaching business, which ultimately, was how I made my first online income. So, huge shout out to Travis. Then worked with Adam Hurd and Tom Marino, the guys from Atomic Business Coaching. And again, those guys, taught me so many things about business and about myself, and helped me uncover, some of the things that were really blocking me, and some of the things that were, really hurting my relationships. And, so those guys have done an amazing job. And then, Ken Yarmish, who is, I connected with Ken through LinkedIn. And, at the time I was going down this path of potentially growing a business and having employees and all these things. And that wasn't really something that I wanted. And I wanted to really run a solopreneur business. And I do have a couple of really great vendor relationships. So shout out to Connor and Sam. Like, Connor and Sam do all of the production and a lot of the admin work for Video on Easy Mode. But I mean, not employees. I pay them. They are partners basically. And I'm fortunate to have people like that. But Ken, really helped me to rethink my business and create it and build it in a way where, I could scale the business without headcount and, without employees, without payrolls. And that's Ken's specialty. And that's why I keep him around. So yeah, the number one thing that I will tell you is that you cannot go at this alone. You need people to show you the way. You need people to help you get out of your own head. You need people to brainstorm your ideas with. And you need these mentors throughout the way. And I couldn't afford any of them, by the way, but I paid them anyway. I would go into the red. I would, whatever I needed to do to pay these guys, because if I didn't have them, the business wouldn't exist. So the next time you think about investments that you need to make, it's like, think of them just like that. They're not expenses, they're investments. And if these are the people that are going to help get you to where it is that you ultimately want to be, the price almost doesn't matter. All right. My second rule, or second thing that you need to look out for, is that there are going to be people that you love who doubt you. And it's as hard as it is, you really need to ignore them. This includes my parents. And again, it's not because their heart wasn't in the right place. They were concerned. They know that I have two little boys who they love and I love. They know that, we are a single income household, and were very concerned about, whether I would be able to do this. Right. And like I said, all coming from a good place, but they wanted a life for me that I didn't want any longer. I didn't want to be an employee any longer. I wasn't destined to be an employee any longer. I was destined to do this, to start my own thing, to be my own boss, to create a business that fits my lifestyle so that I can spend the time with my children and I can spend the time with my wife and I can enjoy what I'm doing in my business on a day-to-day basis. And man, I freaking enjoy it very much right now. So, again, there are going to be people that will significantly doubt you. And again, they may be some of the people that are closest to you. And, you can't get mad at them. You have to just understand their opinion, and you have to be willing to ignore it sometimes. And it's not easy. Yo, I just wanted to take a very quick break in the action here because I just realized something crazy. 85% of the people that are watching our videos on YouTube are not subscribed. This is what happens when you actually get smart people to look into your analytics. So if you are enjoying this content and you want more practical advice and tips on how to grow your brand and your business with video, please hit the subscribe button. I do truly appreciate it. Secondly, if you are a founder and expert who really understands how important video is to grow your business, but you don't have time to mess around with cameras, write scripts, do video editing, or blow your entire budget on a fancy film crew, that's exactly what we help with at Video on Easy Mode. You are literally watching how it works in this episode right now. We make it easy to create high quality, natural video content to help you grow your business and grow your brand without leaving the comfort of your home or office. So if this sounds like something that your business can use right now, either scan the QR code or hit the link in the description. It's all remote. All you got to do is show up to a virtual studio, hang out with me for about an hour, and you're going to get a month's worth of videos. And let's get back into the interview. All right. Number 3. You need to do uncomfortable things. All right. I would say one of the uncomfortable things for me was getting on video. I did not want to get on video. So when I was starting the business, Travis was the first mentor that I had. And he's like, dude, if you want to grow online and you want people to see your personality and you want people to see, you want people to feel connected to you and you want people to choose you over a different coach, you obviously need to put yourself out there. People need to see your personality. They need to feel like they get to know you. It's going to make your life so much easier. And I was like, yeah, not happening. Right. And then part of it was obviously because I was 100 pounds overweight. So I was very self-conscious about my weight. I hated the way I looked on camera, but, he pushed me out of the comfort zone and made me do it anyway. And sure enough, one, I got really good at video content, but also my entire business these days is essentially built off of video content. And now I'm making some changes and everything, but video is a significant part of everything that I do. And it's something that if I never started doing video content, again, my business probably wouldn't exist. So that was one of the most uncomfortable things for me. Obviously, the next most uncomfortable thing was like, okay, Danny, you need to get in shape. You need to stop being a gavon and you need to get a handle on your health so that you can chase your kids around because you're not this 100 pounds overweight is not serving you at all. So first, I just did some small changes. I stopped drinking soda. I stopped getting fast food. And then the next thing was, all right, I got to start moving. I started taking walks every day. Then from walks, it was like, okay, the next thing was I started to doing the rowing machine. And then, so I would do the rowing machine every day and I started to lose weight and I got to where I lost 30 pounds. But after that, I was kind of hit a wall. And then it was like, dude, you got to get in the gym. And I'm like, no, I don't like the gym. I'm not into it. But luckily I met a good friend here in Charleston, happens to be a personal trainer. He pushed my ass a little bit. So Brandon, thank you. I owe you a thank you as well. And got myself in the gym. So between just doing the movement, getting my 10,000 steps in every day, eating healthier, making healthier choices when it came to food, and then, adding in some lifting and everything like that every day, I've been able to drop 100 pounds. And that has not only helped me in just like every aspect of life. Basically, it's helped. But it's really helped my business too because I feel more confident in my content. I feel more confident in going out and meeting people. Um, I feel more confident when I get into like a sales interaction. So like yourself and like your image plays a really big role in like how you show up for your clients and prospects and all that. So, um, you know, you got to do these things that make you uncomfortable. All right. The last one, this is where it gets a little sensitive for some people here. It is that you need to trust in God. That God has your back and you need to have faith that he has your back and that if you put the work in, you will be rewarded. That is the ultimate thing. Faith is probably the ultimate thing that has helped me get to where I am. And when I never had faith was not something that I had growing up, by the way. I had two different parents from two different religions. Mom was Jewish, dad was Catholic, and I don't think they could really agree on me being raised one way or the other, me and my brother. So they decided to, just share some customs and from each of the religions, but not to give us a training or education in either of them. And that was fine. But when my wife, when we got married, it was very important for her and her because she was raised very religious. So it was very important for her that we be married in a Catholic church, that our children be baptized, and that, I at least help encourage their education. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm like, if it's important to you, it's not that important to me. Like, I will stand by you, but I'm like, kind of leave me out of it. Right. But 2020 came around and maybe even 2019, because my son was like a baby, like in the stroller. And my wife was like, I really want to start going to church. And she's like, and I want to take the kids. So I need you to support me on that. And although like I kind of went kicking and screaming, I did. And for 3 years, I went to church every Sunday. And, at first I wasn't really paying attention. And then as I kept going, I started paying attention more and more. And after we moved to Charleston, it was probably about 2 months after we moved to Charleston. I'm sitting in the church pew, and the priest is talking about going to heaven and a bunch of other things, and I'm just like, I'm in. I'm like, I'm in. I want I want to be there with my family in heaven. Um, I want to have eternal life with my wife and my kids. And that was kind of the main driver that got me to it. But there was something else too. There was something about sitting in that church, especially through COVID and the pandemic, that felt different. It was the one time a week where, you felt like you were surrounded by a group of people that has hope for the world. And that's really what made me, that, and obviously the piece that I just explained, those are the two things that really contributed to me wanting to join the Catholic Church. So I joined what's now called the OCIA program, where I took classes, and then I made all my sacraments on Easter of 2023. So I had baptism, first communion, and confirmation all on in 2023. And I love our church. We go every weekend. I'm active in the religious education. I'm actually going to be teaching religious education this year. So I typically don't get nervous about stuff. That's one thing that I'm like a little bit nervous about. I'm actually teaching third graders. So I'll have my son, Lucas, in the class with me. So again, hopefully he'll be there to help me and guide me through it. Like I said, God's got my back. He's going to guide me through it. I'm going to figure it out. I have no problem teaching adults all day, but teaching to third graders is a little bit more intimidating for me. I don't know why. But anyway, I kind of got off track a little bit, but the last one, faith, has been an important factor in, me growing my business here. And it's an important thing that I wanted to add, whether, you believe in faith or a different faith or whatever. That's your business. I don't discriminate. Everybody, believes in and supports what they feel like is best for them and for their families, right? So those are my four rules to live by. So just to kind of recap, one is you cannot do this thing alone. Even if you're a solopreneur, you cannot do this alone. Find mentors, be a part of communities, find your peers and find people to grow with. Number two is the people that you love most will doubt you. And again, it's not because that they don't have your best interest at heart, but because they do want the best for you, and they're really just a little bit nervous and it's something that they're not used to, that they don't understand, and they don't fully grasp everything that you do, right? So sometimes it's hard, but you do need to ignore them. Number three is you have to do things that are uncomfortable. Like I said, working out, getting on video, going to church, all of these things were extremely uncomfortable for me at first, but all of them have significantly impacted my life and my business. And then obviously, lastly, ending up with, this story of faith and having faith in God, that he has a plan for you. And but faith doesn't do anything without action. So let your faith help you to drive your action. All right. So that is the story. So here I am 3 years later. Today's my 3-year anniversary. I'm going to take the kids out. We're going to go down to into downtown Charleston. We are going to go to the Children's Museum. We're going to have a nice dinner and celebrate our 3rd year in living in Charleston. And we've got some exciting things coming up. Taking them to Disney World in next month in September. Something that I did not think that I would be able to do. So just to sum everything up, you can do this. So like if you're somebody who is, still in your corporate job and like starting to build a business on the side, or you're somebody who is relatively new in your entrepreneurial journey, or maybe you're further into your entrepreneurial journey and you are doubting yourself, think about these principles, think about, some of the things that I shared with you today, and have that faith, and have faith in yourself, have confidence in yourself that you can make it happen. So that's it. Solo episode in the books. I think I did okay. I'm going to give myself like a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe when I listen to it back, I might either raise or lower that. But you guys let me know what you thought of the episode. And again, I appreciate you tuning in. And I will be back on the next one with Nat Berman, one of my faves. See ya.